April 22nd Committee of the Whole. We have one item on the agenda coming this summer from Parks and Recreation. Happy to see MJ Van Cleve. MJ, take it away.
Thank you, Council President, and thank you, Council members. This evening, I am proudly here on behalf of the Department of Parks and Recreation, and we are here to highlight several events and experiences that will be coming this summer. Behind me is several team members from multiple divisions, from the golf course, recreation, parks and trails, as well as our own park board president here with us. And so hopefully, if we can, we'll be saving time for questions once we are done. So we're going to kick it off. So this summer, we wanted to provide a wide smattering of things that are offered this summer. It's not limited. We have a host of other things going on between maintenance and operations and planning, but this is really typically a lot of things that the public comes to expect from us and anticipate, and we're hoping to provide you answers to questions you may have once community members are aware of these things. We're really proud of our golf course. It's publicly owned, and what is really profound and special is they are very much dedicated to making sure that our golf course has a public benefit. Sometimes there's a perception on who attends the golf course and who benefits from it, but we have really increased access to youth and growing and developing the sport. We're very proud to have our junior PGA League, which is really exciting. And so we really encourage you, if you know anyone or have youth of this age, to certainly sign up. Farmers Market, again, this is 23rd season. Last year, they had 13,000 visitors between the time it was open until it closed, with an average of 48 minutes of each visitor spending time. We're profoundly proud of this event. Carrie Olson works incredibly hard. A lot of our programs are not heavily staffed. We have to rely on summer employees, and it means full-time employees work extremely hard before and after peak season time, but they typically are super busy year-round. But this is one where you can see them hard at work. We really do appreciate Council's presence and participation at the Farmers Market, and we will continue to invite you and have your presence. Renton River Days, this is the second year that this has been brought in-house. This was previously owned and essentially operated and led by a separate nonprofit. We are still developing and transitioning it in-house, which is a big difference from a separate nonprofit. We're really proud to be able to offer all of the variety that we did. In terms of numbers from last year, and I do apologize to Council, we did not provide a recap. We certainly can at the 2024, is to give you a recap of 23 and 24 to just let you know how attendance looked, feedback, things of that nature. And I apologize if we did miss that opportunity in last year's transition. But I will say we used Placer AI. It's a software and a subscription in partnership with Community Economic Development. We had 28,900 visitors during the 3 days of last year's event, and 47% of those actually did attend the events hosted at the community center, which was the art show, as well as the indoor market and our volleyball tournament. So that is 13,700 visits. We do have areas of improvement and would love your feedback based on your experience last year. We still have time to improve upon things like better wayfinding and signage and things of that nature. We're pretty far along, but not so far along that we can't make some small adjustments. And so we would really love any feedback that you heard from last year's event. We are proud to say that a majority of the vendors from last year, several of sold out of all of their products and goods, and the majority of them are returning. So out of those 80, and then several of them were transitioned into our holiday market. This year, some things that are different, but also nostalgic and returning, is our senior picnic. We are bumping up those numbers to 400 attendees, nearly double over the last several years. We look forward to, again, Council being there for it. It will be back at the Renton Community Center the way it was done in the past. We have a band. We will have a good time. We hope to see you there, dancing and serving as you've done in the past. We're excited to have a pickleball tournament that's brand new. And again, the community is spoken loud and clear how much they love that sport. So we are really excited to be able to indulge in that. As well as we're bringing back our golf tournament. This is a wonderful way for the golf course to be back a part of it, as well as our tried and true partnerships with the Renton Rotary, with our rubber ducky derby. Sorry, it's a tongue tie. And as well as our antique classic boat show. We have phenomenal entertainment this year. We're really excited to play around with that and try to make sure we're responding to community needs and is request for bands. Moving on. During this hot season, so we're looking at the months of June, July, August predominantly, because that's where we have this particular uptick in terms of what we define as summer activities. This isn't all we do year round, but this is certainly an influx to our operations. The pool will open. In terms of lifeguards, we are anxiously waiting to see how many guards do apply. This was a challenge during COVID. It continues to be a challenge in the region is having enough, but we do believe that there's enough interested and we're growing again that workforce. We again rely on a lot of supplementals to make this operations viable. Last year, we had 39,167 registered individuals. That is for that whole variety that you see in front of you there in terms of categories of services and ways to experience the pool. Out of that, 60% are Renton residents. So that meant we served 24,000. Those possibly could be duplicate if they have a season pass, if they go more than once. But we do want to always make sure, again, our priority are our Renton residents and continues to be our customer focus. So another one that is pretty profound. Our department is very old. We're the peachy folder of experiences. A lot of nonprofits and for-profit corporations have privatized what we have done for decades. And one of those is our summer meals program. And I am beyond proud of this. It was started with Cindy Parks and Human Services, and Teresa Nishi has carried this flag. And I'm impressed by the fact that we serve 20,000 meals, and this is predominantly to children for free last summer. We think it is still such a valuable community resource. We do this in partnership with the school district, but this has literally been around for decades, and we're really proud to be able to do this. Teresa manages with some AmeriCorps Vistas and United Way this experience. It's challenging. Again, the department that has so many supplementals and part-time employees, it's basically restarting your operations every single year. We're a gateway for a lot of young people to get workforce and job experience, and we're proud to do that. But there's a learning curve and it is a challenge, but we're proud to do so. Summer concerts, again, what we're highlighting here is we are also conscious of how much we offer for free. We don't want everyone to feel like they have to pay for a positive experience. They also pay for us already by way of their taxes, and we are trying to be good stewards of that. So summer concerts has been going on for decades as well. We're super proud to bring those back. And again, the most popular one is typically at Coulon. We are still continuing community celebrations with the neighborhood program. We just had our sustainability event this last Saturday at Arbor Earth Day, and thank you, Councilmember Vaughn and several other members who were there. We had over 300 in attendance. It was a beautiful day. People walked out with free lettuce plants, an acorn plant my daughter is caring for like it's her own child, as well as several other giveaways. But it's a beloved event, and if you didn't get your t-shirt, please let us know. These are collectibles now, and we want to make sure you don't miss out on your collection. Moving on to day camps. Okay, if there was a golden ticket to give away, this would, render some money in competition. This is one of the best things we have for working families and in caregivers. Day camps sell out extremely quickly. I've already been whispered to a few times wanting to know the scoop on when registration opens. It opens this Wednesday on the 24th. Last year on registration day for our entire recreation program guide, that's for the department as well. So we had 2,600 people register for programs. So it is our big open day. But we wanted to show we have a host of other variety, and I apologize, let me transition. So day camps, again, we have STEM camps, we have Cartooniversity, sports leagues, toddler program, Renton Youth Council, I'm proud to say is back. Several council members, Councilmember Perez, you've always been a champion for that and asked about the program, and it's back again. Youth art classes, gymnastic, dance classes, taekwondo, and adaptive rec program. So we do offer the wide variety of some activities to keep your children engaged, but we also still offer the full day camp, which many, again, caregivers and parents are looking for to survive the summer and also keep their little ones engaged. Adult programming, May through August. This does take a little dip sometimes, especially at the senior center when the weather's nice. A lot of people take advantage for traveling, but there still is a large interest of still staying social, staying active. That being said, last year we had 2,684 fitness program participants. 79% of those were Renton residents. We just want to say we're in the business, Planet Fitness. We're doing good. People are choosing us, and we're really proud to say that. I think we don't celebrate enough, but we get a high return rate of customers, and those being Renton residents, and we're extremely proud to be able to be deserving of their returning patronage. We're really excited about fly fishing classes, so we're trying to continue to evolve to match interest in evolving needs. The senior center, there's still a growing interest in help with computer and technology classes. Sometimes I feel like we need it here with all our changing software programs and things of that nature. Social lunches are still popular and very necessary. We realized during COVID especially that socialization is really key to people's vitality and health and mental health. And so the team does a fantastic job with theming those out and making sure that they have quality entertainment and experiences. Another exciting one is we're leaning into dancing. People really wanted to see dancing come back of all sorts. If you didn't already have this planned, there's a disco event on May 30th. And I don't know, I feel like council should be there for this one and really enjoy it. But the team's extremely responsive to what our residents as well as our participants are interested in. We do know we serve a lot. The Don Person Senior Activity Center is a regional resource. We serve a wide region because we are really lucky to be one of the few to have a senior center. Moving on, this is where things get really, really busy. We do a combination of hosting our own events as a city, and we permit events that people are interested. The beauty and the challenges, we're proud to say we do all of this. The challenges, we are at a point of competing for our own resources and stretching them sometimes thin, where that could be first responder resources, whether it be our ability to spend enough time on our maintenance and planning and things like that. So we are going to evaluate return on investment, rent and resident prioritizing, things of that nature. But we wanted to give you a preview. Quite a bit is occurring. Volunteer Appreciation Dinner. In 2018, it switched over to this department, hosting it exclusively. We're at 208 individuals registered. We're at capacity, but we're proud. We love this event. This is a chance for us to really appreciate our volunteers because this department specifically could not do as much as it does without them. We rely a lot on volunteer coaches and volunteers at the senior center, and we're also proud to be able to host and extend gratitude to the other departments that also rely on volunteers. May 4th, we have the Seattle Sounders. We continue to have a wonderful partnership with the Rave Foundation, the philanthropic arm of the Sounders. That is serving a little over 100 youth at our Cedar River Park. Memorial Day celebration, again, it's a way to honor our veterans that served and have passed. So that will be a continued and beloved celebration in partnership with the VFW and Daryl Pilot, who helps lead this. We're leaning further into the Juneteenth event that is hosted by Sky Urban Institute. King County Library is also going to be hosting something, so it's going to be this larger effort between both locations in Liberty Park and in King County Library at our downtown library. But the Parks and Recreation Department is stepping up and helping with the 3-on-3 basketball tournament. We are assisting in providing some other amenities, as well as having an information booth, and so will our police department. So we're a proud partner of this event, and we look forward to it. But the Senior Center is also doing something. They do wonderful cultural events themselves, and they're looking at having a pretty cool band. I don't have their name, but that was the literal definition, is a cool band. But we look forward to their event as well. We also have, and we will be, all of this will be on your calendars, Council, but one specifically you'll be invited to especially is the Tiffany Park Futsal Court renovation and ribbon cutting. Again, this is a huge partnership that we continue to celebrate when we get these investments in our park. So now moving on to permitted events. This is not city hosted, but it goes through a rigorous process where sometimes anywhere to 20 to 30 departments or individuals have to do approval depending on the requirements or impact to roads, streets, any of our public spaces that get turned over to private use essentially. It goes through quite the rigorous process. So Girls on the Run has been around for many, many years. We're really proud of this event. It's around the airport. Brave Trailblazer celebration and this Juneteenth event. This is with Talbot Elementary. And this is a great event they're going to be hosting, and they're doing their own version of Juneteenth. The Return to Renton Car Show benefit, again, Piazza Park. There's interest for us to participate more and potentially kind of see what we could do to expand upon that, but we know for certain they're coming back. The Kaiser Permanente Seattle to Portland Bicycle Classic, this is them coming through. They'll be starting at UW and making their way through, but we're happy. They sound like they'll be stopping somewhere in more of our business corridor or our adjacent city, but it won't impact anything to our predominant areas of streets and roadways. Pride in the Park, this is in partnership or hosted by, I should say, I apologize, with our own Renton LGBTQIA+ chapter here in our own city. So we're really excited to see them hosting their event in Liberty Park. Communities and schools, their annual backpack is something we know the city continues to support, and we support their use of Liberty Park where they're giving out tons of school resources, backpack, toiletries, things of that nature, and they do a phenomenal job. We're happy to have them in this park. And then the Ukrainian Association of Washington Independence Day at Liberty Park. This is a huge event, and they do a phenomenal job. And we're happy to see that they've returned back to Renton again. Excuse me, Council. The big thing was to give you a quick overview so that you can ask questions. We're happy to articulate. We have, numbers for days, things of that nature. But this is 79 FTEs that put on this event. We hire hundreds of supplementals in the summer and volunteers, and we're really proud to serve our community. And we are now open for questions.
Any questions from council?
Mr. President.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, MJ. Great presentation. Very exciting to see all the things that we have for the summer. A couple of questions. First, very happy to hear that the senior picnics coming back to the community center was something that I know we were trying to change in the past, and change sometimes is not what we're expecting. So I'm very happy to see that we're going to be able to accommodate more seniors to this event.
Yes.
Because space it was an issue. It was a great idea to have it at the senior center, but unfortunately we cannot accommodate as many seniors. And this is a very, very popular event. So thank you very much for listening to the concerns of the community. My next question is I do understand why you couldn't not come last year with the numbers and the results of the Renton River Days. The transition was hard. We were all going into a reorganization, and it's very understandable. However, I also know that the feedback from the community and the survey that you put around, the community has a tendency to be very vocal during the days of the Renton River Days. There is something that they don't perceive as a good change or something different. Change is a challenge all the time, right? So when we came back from the COVID to the first Renton River Days, we tried to do something in downtown, and it was not well received, and the community was loud and clear about that. We have not been able to come back to the way we were before COVID, not even in the parade. Even we always say, these are not the numbers that we used to hit. I'm hoping that we will get there eventually. But in the Renton River Day specifically, at the Liberty Park, because it was not Saturday and Sunday like they are used to, they noticed this change, and it was kind of like, they question why Friday, why Saturday, why not Sunday. I know that there were some other questions, and I was very much in close with the community because I was at the booth for the doggies. So that was when people were trying to go to the other space and they have to walk all the way to the community. And that was an issue for them. Say, I have to go all the way over there and then come back all the way for the music and the food and this and that. It became an issue at that moment. I don't know how big because I cannot see the results of the survey. But my question will be, I Are we going to present the same model of last year? And how are we going to address these concerns of the people that didn't like the change?
Yes, we will be proceeding with the same layout based on the analytics that we have. Despite a lot of people vocalizing not liking it, and it is the change, and we understand, and it's just uncomfortable, that 13,700 visits were on the other side. So several people did make it, but we can certainly encourage and improve on the wayfinding. There's some layout changes as well with the food that help take you further into that and make it easier to navigate, as well as incentivize the portion that may have found it not as enticing or interesting or clear to them on what was the other side. So that is completely our intent. The Friday night, no, you're right about the downtown. That was challenging. What we will be doing different this year is doing the drone show at Coulon on Friday night. We want to see how that works and see if we can spread ourselves out slightly differently. And we're also trying to be cost effective. We understand this is a very large event on the city, and so we're trying to be resourceful and creative. We are more than happy to provide that feedback, and we're happy to continue to adapt and retool this event. So it really is a reflection of community interest. So we're happy to look at last year's and this year, and if there is some consensus there, we can make those changes. We want to also make sure council has all this information, so when you do get community feedback, you have more information with you. And I do apologize, we did not get that to you, and you're right, there's transition and reorg, but we also are looking to bring back an event committee. We're meeting with some of the former board members that were on the River Day board. We're pulling new individuals from existing planning and commissions that we have within the city to also do a better job of bouncing some of these things off of informed and those with historical knowledge, just to kind of test it out before we move into planning and getting into contracts, essentially. So I think last year was definitely a learning curve. We still are now, but we are open to that, and we'll certainly try to be as responsive as we can.
Thank you.
Any other questions from council?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes, go ahead.
So for the Memorial Day event at Veterans Plaza, I don't know what kind of turnaround time is required to get all of those tile requests in place before that event, so that people, I am one of them. When I go to that event, I do hear some people saying, you know, where's my tile, and I don't want to be one of those people this year for my father. So just to make sure that in any way possible to be as current as possible with those displays.
That's noted. We can certainly do that and make sure prior to that event we have any outstanding requests taken care of.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Any other questions, council? MJ, thank you so much. There's a whole lot happening in the city of Renton this summer. I appreciate you guys coming out tonight.
And we're more than happy, council, to return. As you know, there's a lot going on. We're happy to return in the fall or winter time, or later, early, however you want to do it. But we're happy to recap on everything we overviewed right now in terms of outcomes and lessons learned, things of that nature.
We will definitely get that on the calendar.
Thank you, sir.
All right, committee of the whole is adjourned.
Thank you.